So Assassin's Creed Shadows finally released. After months of delay, while the whole world was playing it, I was sitting by my window waiting for my Amazon driver to deliver it. And when it finally arrived at 6 PM, by the way, I have no idea why it took so long. I rushed to my setup, slapped the disc into my PS5. I saw a dreaded 4-hour wait time to copy the disc over. Yeah, well, I had to wait. But as I was scrolling through my last video's comments about people arguing about Battlefield, seriously though, actually a lot, I finally got the notification.
Let's get ready to rumble!
So when I loaded into the game, the first thing I noticed was the new Animus screen, or Animus HQ or whatever, and it was pretty basic, nothing groundbreaking. It looks like they were going for more of a COD HQ style menu, but even that feels whack. One thing that confused me was why the Animus only went back to Origins, like Assassin's Creed Origins, when there was Unity, Syndicate, Brotherhood, all these other ones. Like, there were way better Assassin's Creed games out there that they could have included. Maybe it would be added later, or maybe they've addressed it already and I just didn't know. And then, of course, I saw that there was microtransactions. Ubisoft, you just couldn't resist, but hey, at least the store currency apparently can be obtained by playing the game, so maybe it isn't so bad. So people were saying that this is just a copy of Ghost of Tsushima, even like months before it came out. And I mean, they're not wrong. Now calm down, diehard AC fans typing up. The game still offers a unique experience, but when I played as Yosuke, I was getting instant flashbacks to Jin, who is the main character of Ghost. Even the UI is almost a one-to-one copy of Ghost. I'm honestly surprised Ubisoft hasn't been sued for like, what, the 7th time for this now? Even Now's, but how do you even say the name?
Neo.
Okay, I know it's not that, so I'm gonna just say Naue or whatever. Even her backstory is eerily similar to Jin's. The burning village, the death of her father in literally like the first hour, and both of them witnessing it firsthand. But the only difference was that she actually did something when Jin just stood there like a little coward and didn't really do nothing. Now keep in mind, as of writing this, I'm only about an hour and a half in, so the similarities might change later on that I just don't see right now. Also, combat wise, in general, there are a few noticeable differences. While both games feature parrying and counter attacks, Shadows leans more into brutal animations and gore, which I'll get into more later. But this honestly enhances the samurai experience, but Ghost of Tsushima had a more refined feel everything in combat, and it flowed seamlessly. Here, sometimes it feels just a little bit off, but it's not enough to ruin the experience. It's just something I noticed. And remember, I literally just played the first prologue mission of Yasuke. I'm still yet to experience the rest of it. Now, one thing that really impressed me was the facial expressions when I started playing. When Naue was emotional after losing her father, or when Yasuke looked visibly irritated when he was in that little area, I don't know, the castle, it's not a castle, I don't know what about. But he was visibly irritated in certain scenes. The cutscenes were genuinely impressive, especially for a Ubisoft game where their last game was Star Wars Outlaws and it looked like this.
Sure did. I tracked down Tizlak. He's on my ship.
But obviously, since it's a Ubisoft game, you obviously can't have two good things in one package like cutscenes. And that's when the English voice acting comes in.
Ah, that was the feeling I couldn't place.
So the English voice acting is not great, and for me, voice acting is a big deal in story-driven games. Games like Hogwarts Legacy, where the voice acting and lip syncing were literally horrendous. You can see how many Reddit posts on YouTube videos.
Grand game. And if you lose, they spray you with a foul-smelling liquid.
It was horrendous. It was terrible, basically. And that was one of the main reasons of why I dropped it. And I actually really enjoyed the game, especially, you know, you hopping on a broom, just flying around. However, when you turn on the immersive mode at the start, the game takes a big step up. Like when I loaded up the game, it gives you a few options. Immersive mode was one of them. I had to look it up. I've seen so many people say how much this is needed. It's way better than the English voice acting. And that's when I had to turn it on. The mix of Japanese and Portuguese was a nice feature and it was definitely necessary. I don't think I could bear playing the whole game with the default English voice acting. It was just terrible. Also, speaking of the cutscenes, I have to say that the camera work in this game is really well done. Certain angles really emphasize emotions and the lighting adds so much to each scene. It feels like Ubisoft actually put the effort in, so all those months that delayed were actually paying off. Which, let's be real, is something Ubisoft don't always do. So the prologue introduces both Yasuke and Naue, and the first Yasuke battle is just... The dismemberment was something I was not expecting. I think I can even say it's better than Ghost of Tsushima's. So far, I've only played about 3.5 hours as of writing this part, mainly focusing on Naoe's missions. I haven't got to Yasuke's section yet, but I'm really looking forward to it and see what else he can do. Also, small detail, but the way blood splatters on your character's armor and clothing, that's actually a really nice touch. Adds a lot of immersion, and again, something Ubisoft never does. Now remember, I'm only about 3 hours into this game, maybe hitting 4 now, but from what I've seen so far and what I've played, this game is very impressive and I can't lie about that. Now sadly, I don't have a PS5 Pro, I'm not spending £700-800 on this, so I couldn't see the absolute best graphics, but from what I've seen from YouTube videos of the PC version, it looks very good, and the PS5 Pro version. The gameplay footage you saw in this video was on a base PS5 mode, which was the 60 FPS but with low fidelity, so basically the performance mode. And even then, it still looks pretty good, I can't lie. So does this game bring Ubisoft back into the mainstream spotlight? Well, judging by how social media is acting, I'ma say no, especially what these haters are saying about the game being woke or whatever. But it is a step in the right direction for Ubisoft if they were to make a comeback. Bro, when did I become a Ubisoft channel? Like, I literally have Lucia from GTA 6 as my profile picture. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Thanks for the support that I've had on my last Battlefield video. It really means a lot, and I've got some big things planned for this channel, and I am excited to get started. So if you liked what you saw, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.